show you different ways that we can play with our food and our snacks to be able to kind of help your child explore new foods, or just understand the reason why it is hard for your child to eat something that might look really similar to what you think they should be able to eat because they eat yogurt. Why don't they eat the blueberry yogurt? Or why don't they eat the other strawberry yogurt that comes from the just a different brand? So today I'm starting with some of my favorite snacks and some of our kiddos' favorite snacks. Very crunchy, carby Cheetos. Oops, and there went one of my bags. So today when we're thinking about Cheetos, I want you to start thinking about, well, they come in the bag. So brands are something that are really difficult because our kids attach onto these brands and these labels, and then they also begin to think only these Cheetos, or the only Cheetos that they like, or the different foods, the pancakes, they are only safe when they have this brand. So something that you can do is to, instead of having them inside these bags, you can put them into containers, so airtight containers, so that they are not actually, where they can see a brand on them, and then they just know that they really like these crunchy, cheesy puffs. Another way to start thinking about is, what is something that's really similar? So this is really similar to this. It's gonna look a little bit different. So we're gonna open these up and I'm going to show you about how they are a little bit different. So one of my favorite tips is, these are all closed bags, right? So if I'm going to, if I'm not going to hide the labels and my child's already seen these, I'm going to hand them the bag and I say, okay, let's open. And I'm gonna hand it to them and they're going to look at me and they're not gonna be able to do it, and they're gonna help. So I can model help, open, bag, open the bag. Oh, we wanna eat. Something to think about is, we often look for perfection when we are working with signs. We're not looking for perfection. So if your child does this for eat, great, that's fantastic. If your child does this for eat, that's fantastic. We are looking for an approximation of signs. We're just looking for intentional communication. So today when we open these up, we can talk about the smells. Oh, this smells like peanut butter. Okay, open this one up. This is cheesy. And we can open this one up. This one's harder to open, so that you can make sounds. Ugh, it's hard. Help mommy, help daddy. Pull. Oh, we did it. Pull, pull, pull. See how I opened just a little bit? I can also have my child work on pulling so that they open it as well, and that they are part of the routine. So now we can look at the differences. So with a Cheeto alone, what is different, right? And they are all actually different, which is really cool to think about. So this one is a cheesy puff, right? So it has a puffy quality. When I bite into it, it basically melts in my mouth. We call these meltable foods. You really don't have to do much. You can actually eat these without ever chewing. Okay, so you can put them in the front and mash, mash, mash with your tongue. It does hurt after a while on the roof of your mouth, so your child might not like it. And so if you find that they're eating some, if they're biting right here in the front of their mouth, we're not eating it effectively. And I would look into, does my child need feeding therapy? So something to talk about here is, this one is long, this one is short. Okay, so language opportunities. We can also talk about how this one is puffy and this one is still puffy, but more crunchy. It's more condensed, okay? So my child likes Cheetos, I might present a different Cheeto, so it still tastes the same, but it is presented in a different way and it has a bit of a different texture. We also want to think about bit by bit. So I'm not going to hand the bag of Cheetos, even if it's a little bit left, okay? So I know we don't always hand huge bags of chips, but we often have them out in front of our kids, so they just have to reach out and put them in, or just reach out and grab them. But we want to think about, I can put a little bit in, right? So I'm not going one at a time. That is mean. Our kiddos get really angry with us when we do one at a time. I don't know about you, but when someone gives me one thing at a time and they could have given me a couple, it makes me very angry. So our goal is not to make them angry, our goal is just to add communication opportunities. So I'm gonna give them a couple, right? So I'm gonna give them a little bit, and then I'm going to put this up where they can't reach it, so they have to ask for more. Great communication opportunity here. I'm also going to then think about presenting foods that are very similar. So I have my soft cheesy puff. I now have a soft peanut butter puff, okay? So I have two very different flavors. They look virtually similar, right? So there is a little bit of a difference. This one does have more of a brown look to it, and this one has more of a cheesy orange look to it. This one smells like peanut butter. This smells like cheese. So I can have my child smell it. I can have my child taste it. Should we tap our tongue? I can have it crawl like a caterpillar up my arm. I can have it hit my nose, boop, boop. I can have it play the drums, boop, 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 boop. I can play with this in lots of different ways. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly make them comfortable with something that looks very similar to a favorite snack, but it is slightly different. So this is how I would think about what is my child's favorite snacks and how can I slowly but subtly find things that are very similar and present them and have fun and play. So I hope this edition of MeBe Snackin' was fun, and we will be back with more snack time soon.